Silly, sorry.
I'm motivated by images that first form in my mind's eye, because I can be in a location, say it could be, you mentioned flamenco dancing. I just happened to be in Granada at the time, and I was reading something about the history of the flamenco dancer and how that was performed in the caves at one side of the city, and people would go and visit and listen to the gypsies singing, and then that became something of a celebration of that particular dance. Then of course it became commercialised and they would start appearing in bars. What I found was that it was difficult to remove the people from either the cave location or the bar, because there was too much background information. What I wanted to do was concentrate purely on the dance, the grace and the flow. And I managed to entice a small troupe to come out into the street. It was a very hot June and I wasn't quite sure what I was after. But as soon as she started dancing, it was apparent that she was worth celebrating purely for the way she worked this remarkable shawl. And it was a decision to use fast frame photography in order to seize that motion, which I think best exemplified it. But actually, when I went with a completely open mind, I was just in Spain and I wanted something to typify my visit.
So your flamenco work and I would say your rodeo wrangler work and even your coral cutters seems to focus on a sort of almost like a way of life which is passing. Would that be fair?
I think there is a sense of things passing, in the same way as flamenco dancers now really don't exist in their own habitat. They exist as performers in bars. It has become a commercial enterprise for local people and tourists to really enjoy. And yet somehow this is still very much clues to the background of the way people used to live. And while they're still able to record that and show it as it was, I think that's very inspiring for people who perhaps never been to those locations. And the still image for me is still very evocative. If you can produce the right version of that image, I think it draws people to want to go and experience that. And that's really why I do it.
And that sense of time passing, would that be a reason as to why it was largely shot in black and white?
The black and white is a deliberate choice. I find the expression of black and white as an image much more captivating. Colour is everywhere, so it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, you see colour promoting everything because of the way technology has improved in the last 20 or 30 years. But the black and white image still resonates very strongly, and I tend to think, because I trained as a black and white photographer, I tend to think in black and white. So I'm always looking for how that image will express itself. And the print medium in large scale is formidable in being able to show how those tones can work, which is not something that used to be capable quite so much in film production. But with digital post-production, it's a completely different universe, and one where each image produced is really very special.